Good morning, traders, and welcome to the opening trade. I am Ayla. All right, before we get started here, don't forget to first read and understand our disclosures found by both link and text in the description of this video. Unfortunately, I was not able to stream yesterday. We had to go to a follow-up appointment for my hand, and we're cat free. All right, so let's take a look at our account balance before we do our trading for the day. All right, let me get this guy. Here we are, simulated the opening trade. Here's our cash value, and the last three columns will change after our two automated and our manual trades. Now, the automated trades, let's talk about those a little bit. Let's talk about the back test results from the previous 90 days. We will possibly see these systems trade later in this live stream. We do have these systems currently set up to trade 10 minutes after the open of the New York market. All right, so here we go. Here's our 90-day date range. Here's our max drawdown, the gross loss, the gross profit, and the total net profit there for the S&P 500. Here we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ futures, of course. And here's our start and end date for our 90-day back test, our max drawdown, our gross loss, our gross profit, and our total net profit there. All right, so let's see. We got 7 minutes before the market opens. What are the charts doing? So S&P 500 is right there on the 200 period EMA. As is the NASDAQ, the Dow. The Russell pulled down just a little bit, few ticks below. And crude oil is above the 200 period EMA. And it is wiggling around there above it. All right, so let's take a look at the news today. All right, so everything on the calendar has came out today. Is Friday. What did we see? We saw at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, we saw the average hourly earnings month over month with a 0.2% change. The non-farm employment change came out and the unemployment rate. 2 p.m. this afternoon Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be seeing the federal budget. They only come out. And then what are we looking at for the start of next week? So the big thing next week is Tuesday when we see CPI month over month, year over year, in the core CPI month over month at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's the next big thing we need to be watching out for come Tuesday. We have less than 4 minutes before we see the New York Open. Okay. We would like to thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. We have our systems are automated and they are live when they are enabled by the user and they run in the U.S. equity futures market. Free trials to the automated trading systems are on our website at theopeningtrade.com. You can check those out. Anson Funds urged Nano Dimension to halt proposed takeover of Stratasys. Celos Therapeutics Price's direct offering with proceeds of 11.2 million. Miller Industries appoints new member to the board and reaches agreement with Lakeview. Okay, so we have less than 4 minutes before we see the New York market. And let's take a look at the chart. Crude oil. Let's give us some room to see what's going on here. There we go. Here we have the Russell, the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. Digital Alley unit named official ticketing partner of Spartan Race and Professional Fighters League. Monterey Bio Acquisition Corporation is to rebrand. Financial stocks declined pre-market today as we see. We have less than 2 minutes before we see the New York Open. U.S. stock futures rise as jobs report shows promising slowdown in wage growth. Milestone Scientific commences sales of CompuFlow within 3 Colorado clinics. ICGB opens tender for insurance of Bulgarian Greece gas links. Dollar weakens after U.S. payroll data suggests slowing inflation. Gel reports full year 2022 financial results and corporate development. Wall Street set for higher open as rate hike jitters ease after wage growth data. All right, let's see if we can get a refresh here. Nothing new. We have less than a minute before we are going to see the New York market open. Okay. So what we're going to be looking for, once the market opens, we're going to be looking for a 3-step manual trade here in crude oil. There might not be the 3 steps I need indicated to take a trade, but that's fine. We'll be watching the crude oil, the Russell, and the Dow. And then in 10 minutes after the New York Open, we could pretend, and there is the bell for the New York Open. So the New York Open just happened. So I'm waiting for the first candle after the bell to open. And what I need to see for the manual 3-step trade, because I'm above the 200 period EMA, I'm going to look for a red candle, a red step 2, and a red step 3. If all 3 boxes are not red, then we won't be doing our manual trade. That's my personal preference. So while we're watching here, let's take a look. We know we have like a minute and a half before the candle close. All right, so the Russell just saw a flip below the 200 period EMA, and it's running down there. And then the Dow, there it goes. It's starting to go below the 200 period EMA, as well as the Nasdaq and the ES. Again, the New York market did just open, hence why we're seeing the changes we are. So we're just going to be watching these charts here pretty closely until the first candle closes after the New York Open to see if we could potentially take any trades. The automated systems, if the parameters are met, will fire off in less than 8 minutes, and that again will be on the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Because I'm waiting for those automated trades to have their chance, I won't be looking for a manual trade in those charts until after the automated trade has a chance to do its thing. So we'll just be looking at the crude oil, the Russell and the Dow for the first 10 for a potential manual trade using our 3-step manual trading. We do have free trials to these things on our website at the opening trade. So there we had the first candle close. It is not a candle I want to see at this time for the crude oil because it was green in step 1, it was green in step 2, it was green in step 3. So let me look at Russell. So here it's still moving below the 200 period EMA on the Russell, so it is not time yet to do a manual trade. There's no viable indicator for myself. So what am I looking at here? Again, not seeing any good. Plus, it's way too close to the 200 period EMA for my personal comfort there. So let's take a look at the news, keeping an eye on our crude oil and the Russell in case a manual trade comes available. We have less than 5 minutes before we could see our 2 manual automated trading systems take place. Again, that would be on the ES and the NASDAQ as long as the perimeters have been met for the automated trading indicator. Newmark Group buys UK real estate advisory firm Gerald E. Canada jobs data likely keeps Bank of Canada ready to raise rates again. And as we're seeing, Wall Street is struggling for traction. All right, so here we go. That's not the chart I was looking for. Just kidding. All right, so crude oil. There's no viable manual trade yet, nor is there one for the Russell. Let's take a Dow is too close to the 200 period. We have less than 4 minutes before we could see the potentially see 2 automated trading systems take place here on the Nasdaq. As you see, it's running down. The candle is still open. There it just closed. It did close down below the 200 period EMA. But again, we are waiting to see if the manual trading systems indicator, the auto, I'm not going to do a manual trade on the NASDAQ or the ES until I've given the automated trading systems a chance to fire off if the indicators are met, and we could see that in less than 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on looking at the chart, looking to see what is going on. And as we've seen all morning, nothing has a manual trade viable because everything is very close to the 200 period EMA, and my indicators are all the wrong colors. So again, I don't want to trade anything when it's on the white dashed line, which is the 200 period EMA. That's my personal choice. We could potentially see no trades today because the federal budget could make the markets irrational, and that's fine. Because there's always Monday. So here is the Russell. It is down below the 200 period EMA, and it is just closing red candle after red candle below 200 period EMA, so that is not a good trade indicator. On the Dow, we don't want to be anywhere close to a 200 period EMA when we enter a trade because it moves so quickly when it gets there. So again, there is nothing in our favor for our manual trading at this time, which is fine. In less than 2 minutes, we could potentially see here on the NASDAQ and the S&P, we could potentially see the automated trading system take place. So we're going to keep an eye to see if they do. Flight to safety trade pushes 2-year Treasury yield below 4.7%. 10-year rate is down to 3.76%. The Toronto Stock Exchange fell at the open. Crude oil is still not giving any. Wait, hold on. That's our first indicator, but we're pretty close. Oh, we could play it really tight and close. Thinking, thinking, thinking. We have less than a minute.
Order filled.
Alright, we're just gonna do it. So I move my green bar to my 200 period EMA. Yeah, I'm gonna decide right there. So it's 10 minutes after. We did not see an automated trade because the indicators were not met. So we took a manual trade here on the crude oil because we had a red candle with step 1, a red step 2, and a red step 3. So the indicator was there, and we're above the 200 period EMA. So we're targeting a mean reversion back to the 200 period EMA. So since our automated trades where the indicators were not met, so we're going to watch this manual trade that I'm currently in here. which it has. It's an open candle, so we're not too concerned about the color it's showing. We care about the color it closes as, and that will make all of the difference here. Okay, so while it's doing its thing, oh no, so it changed on me. I want to move my stop loss down because I don't want to see too big of a red number if it that candle doesn't close out in red. So again, we're in an open trade. Let's take a look at these other charts real quick. So this is the S&P. Here's the Nasdaq, the Dow, the Russell. Again, all indicators are not good at this time. So there is no manual trades. And once I get out of this trade, that'll be it for the day, since we know that the Fed budget is coming out and the markets are just going to be a little bit crazy. We'll wait for better weather come Monday. So watching this manual trade. So what's going on in the news? Is there some fresh news? Let's see. SVB stock tanked in painful vortex of lack of information. What Wall Street says to do next. Employers in leisure and hospitality retail snapped up workers last month. Well, of course they did. All right, Guardant Health applies to the U.S. FDA for pre-market approval of uh, I don't know how to say that word. Colorectal cancer blood test. There we go. Okay, so need to be managing this stop loss because I do not want to see such a high red number. So I'm bringing it down. If it gets stopped out, that's fine. We have Monday, Monday, when the stocks should see some better weather. Obviously, I could hit close at any time and just stop the trade where it is, but I'm hanging on for hope. Um, so we'll see how it ends. Again, make sure that you read and understand all associated risks listed on the website and in this video description. Make sure that you do things that you are comfortable with. If you don't want to spend the day being upset at something silly as a trade you made, right? That's silly. So just be comfortable in the actions you make, and then you won't have to worry about those things.
Stop filled.
So it stopped filled, which is totally fine. So again, that was my lack of basically moving there. I probably shouldn't have done the manual trade. And if I was going to do it, if I had to do it over, I would have done it faster and shorter. But, you live, you learn. So on Monday, we will see hopefully some better stock markets. Let's flip through here one more time. Nothing good on the Russell. Nothing good on the Dow. The Nasdaq is running red candles down below the 200 period EMA, as well as the S&P. The Fed balance budge is coming out. The federal budget balance is coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and the markets are reflecting waiting that news we see. So we would like to thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. Again, here is the crude oil. We might hang out a minute or two, seeing if there's what? Hmm? So the current candle is going to close in. Oh, if I could get it on it. In less than a minute here, just a few seconds. There we go. It's going to close in just a few seconds. So if that candle closes green, we could potentially,
Order filled.
like we just did, but I got a little froggy and I didn't see that my this is not based off the 3-step trade. This is just a trade I did myself, which we'll see. Again, make sure that you understand all associated risks listed on our website and in this video description, and do things that feel comfortable to you. So I'm just watching this trade I went into here. Just trying to give it some room to make me some greens. So ultimately, I just went into this trade because I felt like it. I was not using the manual 3-step system. So I was doing the reverse, which is counter trading a 3-step system, which is
Order filled.
so there I click close and we're done for the day. So I fixed a little, and that's why I traded the opposite, because I was just trying to fix my $160 loss, and now it's just a $60 loss, which I'm happy with. Okay, so let's bring over our our account balance from Ninja Traders. My words were losing me. Alright, so here we go. Simulated the opening trade. Here's my current cash value. Uh, Lost one, won one at the end, down $60. Gotta pay the fees. You must pay your fees, and your fees get. Sorry about that. The camera has a timer. Your fee schedule is set by your provider, so make sure you know what your fees are so you are an informed trader. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back on Monday to see some Monday Fun Day trading and more manual and some more automated trades. So hopefully over the weekend we will be able to roll out some new exciting things on our website. So hopefully that will take place, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. I'm Ayla, and thank you for watching the opening trade.